Today's a bit of an experience, folks. I am trying to stream in various orientations. And I mean that by we are vertical and horizontal, if it's working. The question is it working? And we're going to know that really, really soon. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And we're trying to make the show better. So logging in on a device to confirm, of course. Cool. I'm just making sure we're good. If you're in the comments, throw a hello and tell me what you see. And we're going to get going in a second, but I just want to make sure that we are all good to go. A little slow startness, but that's what, it takes to be magical. It says we're live. It says we're live on YouTube. Okay, that's a good confirmation. Instagram, hit the button for go live there. Okay, try this one. Is nothing like smooth saying. I was on a phone call with a good friend that I haven't spoken to in a long time. So I was slightly distracted for the last 10 minutes when I should have been doing other stuff and things. But I am eager to make sure this is working. And this one being the rocky one is the first one. Come on. Why are we going slow here? My iPad's doing sweet F all. Just saying. Okay, but it's working, which is magical. Okay, we're live on TikTok. I just need to open up a chat screen so I can actually see what y'all are saying, because that's kind of important. Stand by. TikTok Live Center, we're opening up. I hope you had a great, long, snowy weekend. That's cool. It's kind of squished, but it's working. It is vertical. I'm pretty impressed. I must say, I am impressed. And if our audio is working, maybe it's the iPad. It's letterboxing a bit. I used to have an iPad stand here that I apparently misplaced. Okay. If you're on TikTok, do me a favor, tap that screen. Let the world know that we're vertical. I'm excited. This is cool. It's working. And it's working without that much difficulty. Okay, let me just open up another chat window. Oh, here, there's a chat window here. Hey, it's Big Jeff Fresh coming in via the Twitch. He says, bonjour, voiceover cup. Comment ça va? Jordi? Is Jordi Monday? I don't know. I don't speak. Tuesday. Jordi must be Tuesday because it's Tuesday. And we're talking about stuff and things. I am not French enabled. Let's see if I tap this. Oh, hey, this. Okay, another window we're unlocking here. We've got, now I can see that we can, how's this going to work? Big Jeff Fresh's comment. See, we're going to get some new features unlocked. It's going to actually work better than before. And I see David Dett says, hello, my friend. Hope you're having a great day. I am. Thank you so much for checking in and saying hey. And I don't see, oh, there we go. Comments are even working on the vertical. Awesome. Okay. We've got Droner Wayne who says, good morning, Sean. I like that this is working on all the platforms. Let's see if I can move this around and make it a little better. Okay. We are going to be joined by Jerry Agar at 10:35, and hopefully that's going to work because you never know how it's going to go. I see the video is a little jumpy. I don't like that. But you know what? We're going to get better. We are going to get better every day. We've got Julie who says, good morning, Sean. Good morning to you. We've got Lisa Campbell who says, hey, long time no see. Happy New Year to you, Sean. Happy New Year to you too. It's been a long time. You're absolutely right. We have Caroline who says, Bushu. Okay. And then Ajordi is today. See, he's bringing up the French and he's going to, I'll be absolutely bilingual by the end of the next stream. Maybe. You just fix this. Well, what do you think? What do you think? And we have Dre Studios who says, hey, how's it going, man? I added the hey, but it's there. This is good. This is good. And I can see that there's a couple of thumbs ups, and this is going to be a little bit of a learning curve as we try new apps and stuff and things, but we're getting better every day. I'm excited. So how much snow were you under? How much snow did you have to dig out from under? This is the question, because in some areas it was ridiculous. I was seeing footage from Toronto that suggested it was disgusting outside. I didn't go outside if I didn't have to. Like, I really did. I chose to stay indoors. I did. I have no reason to go outside when the weather sucks. And well, that's not true. I actually went outside. I went out and I bought a used computer. I did a marketplace deal. Talk about that in a bit, because everyone knows marketplace is awesome. And then we can talk about other stuff. But I want to talk about the driving in the winter. In the winter time, how bad was your commute? Do you have winter tires? Because that's a huge thing. I think we're going to talk about that with Jerry. Actually, I should message the producer and ask if there's any articles we're talking about in particular today. Okay. Wrong keyboard. Anything in particular? Okay, got that question asked. Oh, we got Masked Sense says, "Hey, Mr. Shapiro." We got we've got someone who's asking if I get paid from Diamond and Diamond. And here's an opportunity for me to press a button. Hang on, I got to switch mouse, and here we go. Okay, it's not as smooth. I don't have my hotkeys set up yet, but I am sponsored by Diamond and Diamond. They are magical folks who care about what we do. Big thanks to them. They help sponsor the show to keep us on the air. Better Traffic, or the Canadian Organization for Better Traffic Safety and Education, is the not-for-profit that I founded when I left the Toronto Police Service, and Diamond are Diamond sponsors. I like saying that. And then, of course, let's try this button. Jerry Agar is going to join us. We're going to be on NewsTalk 1010. We'll all be on NewsTalk 10, and NewsTalk 1010 will be on here. And I just realized that I shifted myself up in that screen. How can I redo these? But I'm using beta software to be able to simultaneously stream in vertical and horizontal. So if you wanted to see this in horizontal, widescreen, you can, which is sort of the way we've been going for a while now. And if you want to do that, you can do that by going to YouTube or no, Facebook's vertical. In any case, experiment. Tell me what you find. I'm curious to know how things look on your end. We've got TKD who says, "Did a quick run to the grocery store this morning. Main roads are still slippery in Newmarket. MVA happened at the intersection just as I parked the car." I was shocked. So I have a four-wheel drive big old truck, and four-wheel drive or not, the roads were so bad over the weekend on the few times that I went out that it was, you got up and go, but stopping and turning, not so easy to go. And that's really when it comes down to the rubber. You know, what kind of rubber have you got? It's going to change how you go. And knowing how to drive in snow, it's not just get up and go. Like, people buy SUVs and think they're just going to be good to go. And oddly enough, a lot of those SUVs are at the side of the road. I went up north. Actually, I went to Barrie last week towards the end of it. And at the end, I saw a crazy number of vehicles, one of which had looked like it went for a nice little spin, and it was nobody else on the road. Police said that it was a whiteout condition, and I guess they went into the snowbank or into the what's it called? The dip, the ravine, the woohoo. Anyway, they crashed, and I don't get it why, other than driving too fast and not understanding the conditions they were in. What else could it be? That's my thoughts. Hey, if you're watching and you don't know who I am, you have not been paying attention to the online litness, because I've been doing this for years. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer, and I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. So if you've got questions, I've got answers. Let me know. Let me know what you want to talk about. Peter says, and what's going on, Peter? Long time no see. Peter was in Scarborough. He says he got 65 centimeters, not 65 meters, as the mayor allegedly announced. Ditch. TKD says it's the ditch. That's what it's called. It's a good point. It's a ditch. Words. They also said, best are the pickup trucks with empty beds that flex their torque. It is, pickup trucks are light unless they're loaded. It's a thing. A lot of people don't get that. And I don't know why they don't get that. What do you think of this vertical? For those that are watching in vertical, my TikTok fam. Do you prefer the vertical over the way we normally do it in the widescreen? Aside from the fact that it's a little jittery, I think, from the video, but do you prefer the widescreen? I want to know. Let me know. Just let me make sure here. Yeah, we're still in the right place. Good. Yeah, if you have audio or video problems, let me know, because I'm trying to diagnose to improve the stream every single time. So if there's something that I can do to make it better, you let me know. I will try and do that. What do we got here? Boom. Dawson has a question. If there's a lot of snow on the roads and I lose control around a corner, what's the charge? Okay. It could be careless driving. And people say, well, I wasn't doing anything careless. Well, it's possible that due to the road conditions, your being on the road is careless. Like maybe you shouldn't be driving. Now, it could be, the fact is you were going too fast for the road conditions. There's so many different things. It depends. Where, can they attribute it to speed? Is it just like sometimes people don't get charges late? Sometimes they don't, because the copper says, you know what, there's no reason to lay charges here. Discretion. The truth is that in every collision situation, somebody is at fault. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't an oopsie-doo where nobody was responsible. The person driving the vehicle that lost control is going to be responsible regardless if they did anything substantially wrong other than being on the road on a bad weather day. And it sucks, but if you're the only person involved, you're the person responsible. You can't blame the ice. They can't get charges. Oh, TKD says wide is better. And you think wide is better on a vertical platform? Are you watching on a computer or are you watching on a phone? Because most people, when they're watching on a phone, want that vertical business. So I'm curious to know what's better. Maybe we'll go back to simply wide. I was just excited that we had new technology that supported the vertical video, but maybe it's a thing. We will find out, and we will go from there. Dee wants to know how I'm enjoying retirement. It's such a difficult question for me because I truly miss my police life, my police family, but I really love my family, my actual blood. And they're the ones that I'm here for. They're the ones that that I chose to leave policing early for. So the fact that I have the flexibility to walk my kids to school and make them breakfast and pick them up from school and do all the things that I need to do is a gift. It is a gift, and it's a concept. Obviously I did something that some people think is crazy by leaving early, but I did it for the right reason. And I'll forever miss that side of me, but I have a new side. I get to be super dad, and I like that. And let's see here. Decepticons Forever, how you doing? Sending waves. Did I miss? Oh, here I am. I covered up the chat window going, where is the chat window? Okay, we got Dre, who says, what did Dre say? Dre said, since I was in Daytona for 2 weeks, I wasn't under any snow, I'm guessing is what he's saying. Okay, I got to change this so I can actually put the standby. Technical difficulties. Actually, it's not. It's editing on the fly. Come on. If I hover and right, yeah, there. Okay, because whenever I lose the window, the chat window, here we go. And then greetings and salutations from Akela. And you can actually see Akela right there on screen. I want to make that a little smaller. There we go. Comments. I love that the comments are actually, I guess they were always being shared, but I like that the graphics are better on them. He's going to work on the dad jokes. If you got dad jokes, throw them in the comments. Can I star them for later? I think I can. Interesting. Okay. Julie is on YouTube and says that they prefer the questions on YouTube or having the widescreen on YouTube. I think I'm partial to the YouTube too, which is why I've been on YouTube or doing the widescreen for so long. I like it because I think it looks more produced. However, I also appreciate that, the vertical video is good for verticalness. Now, hang on a second. I'm noticing here. Can I lock that? Unlock overlay. I want to move my camera over a little bit. That's better. And bring to front. There we go. Now I'm not under the logo. Whee! You can't see what I'm talking about because the folks that are looking at the vertical videos have no idea what that Ask a Traffic Cop is actually to my the left of my head, or the right of my head, left screen, side of the screen. Anyway, I can see comments and reactions now. I don't know where the thumbs up are coming from, but wherever they're coming from, thank you. And did you know that TikTok released a Mac version of the studio now? So that might be how we go. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm forever trying to improve things. So we'll see how that goes. Long message. You'll not see all of it on the screen, but hello, Sean and all from Florida. Sorry I'm late. Have meetings with Disney and Universal and the Orange County Sheriffs, and then a meeting with the Orlando International Airport. Busy day. It does sound like a busy day, but he says, hope you all have an amazing day. If not, change it. That's good advice. If you're not having an amazing day, change it. Brandon, we got to talk. I want to know what's going on. That sounds amazing. Droner Wayne says this screen is nada for YouTube. If you're watching on vertical on YouTube, know that there's 2 streams on YouTube. You can actually choose the widescreen as well. So if Droner, if you don't like the vertical, switch. And according to Kayla, their snowblower refused to go out yesterday. Agar seized. I've broken a number of the Agar pins in the past, so that's a thing. Okay. And Decepticons Forever wants to get wings with my buddy Kev. Kev is Decepticons Forever. Yeah, I wings is. I need wings. Wings is good. Okay. Those videos on the internet, you see buses, cars sliding down icy roads, black ice, like a long stretch. If the car slides into another vehicle, it's the fault, is the fault still on the car sliding? Yeah. Everyone who is on that collision trajectory, everyone who's hitting another vehicle is the insurance and the person who's responsible. Driver responsible for the activity, and the insurance of that vehicle, even if no charges are laid, they're going to be responsible for the kaboom, for the earth-shattering kaboom. Let's see here. Dawson says, thank you, and I like the vertical more. I'm watching on TikTok. Right on. Do you have letterboxes, or is it filling the screen? Because on my, I'm watching here just to get an idea of what it looks like, and I've got the sides. I don't think I see that. I think it crops normally, but for some reason I'm seeing, that's really that infinity shot there. Interesting. So yeah, I want to know if you have letterboxes on the side. Yeah, and I see it's glitchy. I'm not a fan of this glitchiness. I like the smooth. So the difference is I'm now feeding multiple platforms with my upstream directly from home, whereas normally I would stream into Restream to a single stream, much lower bandwidth requirements, and then it would rebroadcast everywhere. Now I'm sending both vertical and horizontal to a number of platforms, all directly from my little computer. And not only is it from my little computer, on Wi-Fi, I need to put on a hard line. I have to put a physical cable, and I will. Okay, stand by. Stand by. I just need to respond to the producer. I'm good for all that. So the topics that they'd like to discuss while we wait for callers, and if you want to call, you can. Let me just, I don't have hotkeys right now, so let me do this. If you want to call into the show, if you want to speak to Jerry Agar and myself by telephone, you can do that. Just, call in. 416-872-1010. Toll free 1-877-518-5151. And sorry, 872-1010, call or text, and toll free if you're out of the area and it's going to cost you money, then you can use the 800 number. Okay, and I got some jokes that just came in from the magical Akela. A joke for the day. Let's see. Opening it. Cool. No. Okay, we're good. What's our time like? I'll put this on the regular screen. We'll come back to it. And let's get back to Dominic, who says, I have a question. I got 2 no insurance tickets in 20 minutes and I missed my court date. How can I get my license back? I did have insurance. Okay, so how'd you get 2 tickets in 20 minutes? Because if you were to have been driving and you got the first ticket, the second ticket, like for not having insurance or not having your insurance card. See, if you got a $65 ticket for not surrendering your insurance, and then you got a ticket for drive no license, different things. If you got a ticket for not surrendering your insurance, and then got pulled over again 20 minutes later, and they said, let's like you have to demand your insurance. You would show them the first ticket and say, I just got a ticket for this. I can't, I don't have it. Like, it's not reasonable. So if you went to court and said, your worship, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm guilty, but I shouldn't have been charged twice, and it's not reasonable. Like, two different officers. The first one hit me with a ticket after I absolutely knew I didn't have my insurance, but I only found out I didn't have my insurance 20 minutes ago. Like, that's different than drive no insurance, because it says here, how do I get my license back? Did you get suspended for non-payment, like for non-payment of fines? That's a separate situation. If you lost your license, go pay your bill, and then within 3 to 5 days, you should have your license back. And then go and reopen those cases, because you said you missed your court date, so you were convicted in your absence, is what it sounds like. And if that's the case, go and fight it. Like you go to the justice, you make an appointment, you see a justice of the peace, and you appeal to them and say, listen, something happened. I had a court date. I obviously got 2 tickets. Like, you explain the situation, and they can not reinstate your license so much as they can give you a court date, and you can get the case reopened. You still just need to pay your fines and get it reopened now. Whether you get a refund later is another story. And yes, Decepticons Forever says, did you see the Olivia Chow saying they got 56 meters of snow? I did see that clip. It's ridiculous. Okay. What do we have here? Evandro, what's going on, brother man? Good to see you. TKD says, I'm on a tablet holding portrait. I would say the portrait screen needs to be zoomed out a tad bit. Okay. Interesting. I can zoom out a tad bit, but zooming out would just, like, in terms of my face is too big on your screen, or just we'll have to make adjustments. So Evandro says, good morning. Your Brazilian fan is watching. Awesome. Is Creator Steve, good to see you. We got, and Decepticons Forever says no letterboxes on the phone. Cool. So it's really optimized for telephone as opposed to that. I'm really interested to know if that the majority like or don't like it. Troy Boy, I'm assuming that's, first of all, OS Photography wants to know if I'm still an officer. No, it says former police officer, because I am no longer a police officer. Ask a Traffic Cop is the name of the show, which is really just a place to talk about traffic. I still have the knowledge. I want to share and help, and something just blew into my eye. There we go. Deuced or something like that. But I'm very open about the fact that I'm not a police officer. I think it's funny. I ran into someone last week or the week before, and I wanted to make sure they understood. Like, I retired. I'm no longer a police officer. They said, "Oh no, I know you left at the end of August." Everyone seems to be really up on my career and what's happened. So I'm glad I'm glad the transparency has worked. Because I don't pull any punches, I don't hide any stuff. I'm just telling you how it is. And for those who think, because the next comment says, do you lose any sleep for ruining people's lives for codes that harmed no one? That's Troy Boy. I think he might want to be Troy Boss, but Troy Boy sounds like where we're going. He says, your worship, LOL. Oh, how society has fallen far from the grace of God. Yeah, you're going in different directions here, but I've ruined no one's lives by giving them tickets. In fact, I would say that I have saved some, because the goal of tickets, the goal of issuing a ticket, is to change behavior, to hopefully save lives. And the suggestion that someone got a $110 ticket for having tinted windows or speeding, when you say codes that harmed no one, I think that you're out of touch. Speeding is dangerous. Speeding kills. Tinted windows is dangerous. Tinted windows, oddly enough, sometimes look cool, but also can cause tremendous harm. And that's why they're not safe, and that's why they're not legal. The harm side of it. The looking cool is not a big deal. Okay. We've got Inuit Canadian, and then Tom, but it's cut off. Canadians are stealing food to stay alive. No government agencies are killing us. Job hogging people. SOS. Interesting. Okay. I don't see the traffic question there. Things are expensive. The world's upside down. There's no question, but I don't know what you're going for. Manaraj, I see you, I think on both platforms. Yes, but I can put you on the screen with this platform. So let's put you on here on X. And they say last year, Toronto mayor said 2 out of 100 snow-related calls were able to resolve. How would you rate that? 2 out of 100 snow-related calls? I don't know what to tell you. I think that we have a major issue with snow. Apparently, we've all forgotten that we live in Canada, and stuff falls from the sky on a regular basis. Just a time check. Okay. Because we are going to be joined by Jerry Agar, and I want to make sure that that stream connects easily in the way it's supposed to. Make sure here. Okay, I got to get that here. Stand by. We're trying something new, and I really hope it works properly because I've done it before. Hang on. I think I need to do one little thing. And what do I do here? Stand by. That's the interview pane. There's the Zoom pane. Okay. I think I'm all set for when they join. I think. Someone, the same Troy boy says, typical Mason. What is, my name's not Mason, my name's Sean. I know what they're alleging, but it's, I don't understand where they're going at. People are people who have bias are very biased. And Raj says, here, did I take it off the screen? Here, sheriffs and cops have 100% tinted windows in Texas. Yes, because he moved to Texas. I forgot. 100% tint would suggest that you can't see through and there's no light coming through because it would block 100% of light. But I understand the Texas heat is different. It's just different. And I know that because I was in Florida recently, a lot of these sheriff's vehicles there have heavy tint. And I would imagine that is for a couple of reasons. One, it's hot. And they probably don't have the same laws requiring cars not to have it. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I have mixed emotions about it. The big thing is it's not legal here. Whether it's legal anywhere else is irrelevant. But I like being able to see inside. I want our cops to be able to. I want people to see the cops inside their vehicles too. I don't know why we have to hide. I don't think we do. People have said officer safety issue. In an unmarked car, I get it. You don't want to be showing off that you're watching the watchers, or you're the watcher watching them. Okay. I love getting transaction updates on my watch. Do you have an Apple Watch or any kind of smartwatch? Because I get alerts, and it's like, you just got charged $20. I'm like, I did? And then you think, oh, it's a total scam. And then you realize, no, I bought that. I also get a lot of these calls where I get calls from the magical scam artists, and they tell me a package, or I bought an iPhone 7. Your order for an iPhone 7 is on its way. And I always press the button, and I always say, I can't wait for it to arrive. That's my favorite iPhone model. I didn't order it, but I totally want it. So send it all. And it really frustrates them. Okay, let's see here. I just saw... stand by switching my mouse because I saw that we have a connection from my friends at NewsTalk. They're currently muted. I just want to ensure that audio is working properly. So when you have an opportunity, please.
I can hear you.
Oh, and I can hear you. So that is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't have the feed going into you because I know you don't want that.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We should be up in about a minute and 35 seconds.
A minute 30. That's very specific. Okay. We will be ready for you.
Sounds good. Do you mind that the liner comes through on your end, or do you not want that?
Preferably not the music, because YouTube triggers and then it says you're violating and Russia can't play you anymore.
Yeah, but the liner, it's like you're listening to Jerry Agar.
No, that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so as you heard, that was Control at NewsTalk 1010, the Jerry Agar Show. So in just a couple minutes, we're going to be joined by them. And when they join, we will be taking questions from his radio audience and seeing what's up. We'll talk some snow. We'll continue to take questions. But if you want to call into the show, 416-872-1010, 1-877-518-5151 is the toll-free number. Okay. Kingston says, how are you feeling today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm experimenting, so I'm a little discombobulated because the technology that we're using to stream is different, but it allows us to do vertical on TikTok. And I'm going to be experimenting over the next couple of weeks with some different solutions, because the way I'm doing it right now It's a bit of a workaround. I'm not sure I like it. I'm also going to install a hard line for the internet. Right now I'm on Wi-Fi, and with 4 computers and device 5, including my cell phone, Wi-Fi enabled devices, and I'm probably going to start glowing in the dark. Just maybe. But the goal is to ensure that I put the best signal forward, and I don't want to have any kind of hiccups, and that might be what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so Evandro wants to know, what are the most common fines during this time of year related to snow, obstructed license plate, windows covered with snow?
Gary Agar continues.
And we'll answer that in a few seconds.
Thanks for being along. Driving has been particularly challenging for the last couple of days, so it's a perfect day to bring in the TikTok former traffic cop, Sean Shapiro. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right, let's start. Well, let's go right to Greg, who is in line waiting for you to arrive. So, Greg, what's your question?
You know the stick-on roller shades some parents put on the back windows, keeps under their baby's eyes? Is that considered tinting, and can you get a ticket for that?
So the regulations only cover the windows directly left and right of the driver. So your front driver side window and your front passenger side window, those are the ones that have controls as to whether or not you can tint. Rear windows, you could paint them solid black with a roll-on painter if you wanted to. So they're perfectly legal, and it's great to protect your baby's eyes.
Okay, I was just curious about that. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
thanks very much. So let's talk a little bit here, Sean, about parking when there are snow routes, etc. Deb Hutton sent us all a photo this morning of the truck. The plow had come down the street. Somebody had parked, and the plow hit the car, and the side of the car is just devastated.
I've been seeing videos like crazy. My favorite was when someone had just finished plowing their driveway and then the plow came back and filled it all in again, but different situation. So there's some liability there. Is it the responsibility of the plow to ensure that they don't hit parked vehicles that are clearly parked vehicles, or are they somehow exempt? I think the city would be footing the bill in that situation. There's responsibility on both sides. If you're not supposed to be there, there might be an argument that you shouldn't have been there.
Well, could it be both? Look, we'll pay to fix your car, but here's your ticket for parking where you shouldn't have.
Absolutely. If it was signed or if it was a snow route and you shouldn't have been there, the ticket could be issued for that. But the damage, I still think the onus is going to be on the plow.
All right. So what is the deal then? There are signs that say it's a snow route. You can't park there. You could clearly tell that this is a night when we're going to get a lot of snow and they're going to be coming through with the plows. Where are you supposed to go with your car?
Well, some streets make you park on the opposite side on different days so they can ensure that they can get all the snow off. I like what they do in Montreal. They bury you in Montreal. You'll take a month to get your car out.
Okay. Here is Stephen. What's your question?
Hey, I just got a question. As far as the rules go with merging, so I'm pretty sure I know the answer. I want car drivers to know the answer. I drive tractor trailer. Often I run heavy loads. I'm running 90 to 100,000 pounds truck and trailer. Come down the right lane. I like to stay in for safety. The question I have is with the on ramps. Often you'll have cars coming on the on ramp, and all they have to do is put their foot into it a little bit and get in front of me. But what they'll do is they'll pace me and think that I have an absolute obligation to move over and don't understand that 9 times out of 10 there's a vehicle to my left in the middle lane or another truck and I can't move over. Then they start flipping you off thinking that you're not moving over.
Well,
what's the rule?
What I think you've identified is the problem that plagues us all is most people don't know what they're doing. And as a professional driver, I appreciate what you do. First of all, people should be zipper merging. They should be going to the end of the on-ramp lane, not trying to duck in early, but they shouldn't be lollygagging either. They shouldn't just be hanging around. And very few drivers understand how little a big rig driver can see, how big the blind spots are. There's giant areas, and there's a great graphic, visual representation available from my friends over at TURF, the Traffic Injury Research Foundation, turf.ca. If you go there, you can get an idea. But people need to get out of your way, and they have to understand that you take longer to stop, and you've got giant blind spots. So, yeah, they should get up and go and get to the end of that lane and merge properly.
Okay, I just wanted them to hear that.
All right. Thanks very much for your call. Text message here, Sean. What about the epidemic of opaque license plate covers? No enforcement. Just spent a month in Florida. I saw one such cover, and it was on a car from Ontario.
That's hilarious. I spent a couple of weeks in Florida too. I don't recall seeing any And there's no front plates there either. So that's wild how it works. But they're not legal in Ontario. You can't have any license plate frame or cover, whether it be tinted or clear. They're not permitted. And people argue that they want to protect their license plate. Well, they don't belong to you. You can replace them if you need to, or if they're defective. And so that argument's kind of out the window. In terms of looking cool, that's not a right. You cannot obstruct or obscure your plate in any way. It has to be legible.
If you really were doing it to protect the plate, you'd put something clear over top of it.
It would be clear, but the problem with those is they still become dirty, obscured, to create reflection, sometimes have technology inside to shield from cameras and toll devices. So there's all sorts of reasons why people do it. It's rarely just to truly protect their plate.
You mentioned about the front license plate, and I never thought too much about it until just this Christmas. My family and I went down to Puerto Rico, and we decided we were not going to go to the expense and trouble of renting a vehicle, because actually there were a whole bunch of us, so we would have had to rent too big a vehicle. So we just used some Ubers to go back and forth, and they don't have front license plates. And what I hated about that was that's one of the ways you identify that that's your Uber driver arriving.
Yeah, that's problematic, but it's a really great way to understand where police are in trying to identify vehicles and why it's so useful for Ontario to have both plates. When you think about situations like Amber Alerts or stolen vehicles, we're looking for any identifier, and why not have an extra way to that lead up as they approach to catch someone's ID.
Text message: why can't the province reclassify all-season tires as summer tires, since they obviously don't work in this weather?
I'm working with a tire company or a tire technology company and helping them with a project. They want to reclassify all tires instead of having summers and all seasons and all weathers and winters, which confuse everybody because people think all seasons mean winter. It's junk. So they want to reclassify them to better understand or make it easier for people to understand what it means. And yeah, all seasons are 3-season tires. They do not include the extremes. And maybe it's 3 seasons in another place. Maybe they're great for Arizona, but not for Ontario. So it is a major problem. And people who are driving with all seasons in the winter are setting, like the deck is stacked against them. It's just not as safe. They don't have the control. The best investment you can make is winter tires for winter.
People are taking exception on the text board here, Sean Shapiro, to what you had to say about replacing your plates. There's a fee. Somebody said it's $90.
If it's $90, that's a new charge. You are responsible for maintaining them in good condition, but they used to be $50 to replace. My God, I think they were $10 back in the day. So it's true. You do have to replace them if they're not covered under warranty. But if they were to fade, peel, and become discolored within the warranty period, they will likely be covered. If it's not, if you've damaged them yourself, then you would have to pay the fee. I don't believe it's $90, but I think it's somewhere in the $50 range. But that doesn't mean you can cover them. It doesn't mean you can obscure them. That's not a justification. And while I appreciate that $50 is still a lot of money, a $110 ticket is more.
Okay, we have another way that people can connect with the show, and it has to do with if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app. There's a little microphone there, and you push that, and it'll give you a 30-second countdown, and you can leave a message. In this particular instance, we have a talk back about towing.
I've got a question for the TikTok traffic cop. In regards to towing with your personal vehicle, are you able to attach, say, a boat to your vehicle, and then, say, another boat or a camper or something to that boat and tow both trailers at the same time?
I both love and hate this question because it's tandem towing, and we talked about it before, and everyone seems to have a different opinion on it. Commercial motor vehicles can do it. Certain vehicles over a certain length, like motorhomes, but possibly prior to the change, because there have been some adjustments there with what license you need and what qualifies you to operate one of these vehicles. I say, regardless of whether or not you can do it, you should not do it as a normal driver. If you're a commercial driver and you're explicitly covered and you're trained, great. But you could run into so many problems, not to mention insurance issues. I say it's a bad idea and I would avoid it, regardless of whether the law supports it. And if you're a commercial driver and you're clear that you are able to do it, then you do your own thing. But I've seen some pretty scary combinations. I've seen boats and cars on I saw a car with a trailer towing a car on a trailer that was towing a trailer, like the wildest stuff on the road.
Wow. We talked a little bit about this yesterday on the show, but somebody just sent in a text for you, Sean Shapiro. Is it an offense to not clean the snow off your car?
So this gets argued a lot, and I've had some angry ex-cops reach out when I would say this. And the story is, if you fail to clear the snow, you have effectively a snow mattress on top of your vehicle, and people have been sending me great images of this over the last couple of days. You have an insecure load, something that could blow off, whether it be sheets of ice or mounds of snow, and blind everybody behind. And you have a responsibility to ensure that you are traveling safely and securing whatever you're transporting, whether you put it there or not. Like if I put a mattress on the roof of your car, you'd be responsible for securing it if you were going to move that vehicle. Well, someone put a giant amount of snow and ice on your vehicle, you're going to be responsible for that too. But some have said, well, it doesn't go to court, it doesn't work out, they tend to get dismissed. That's not my problem. You should be charged for that. Now, if you cannot see, failing to clear the ice and snow off of your windshield and so on, means you don't have a clear view as a driver. So it's a driver view are obstructed, and there's charges for that. At the end of the day, it's irresponsible. It's dangerous. You could effectively get a careless driving charge if you're driving in a way that is clearly dangerous. You ought to know that ice and snow on your windshield not properly removed could result in you being blinded. And that mattress I described earlier that was on top of your vehicle, once things start warming up, could easily slide over the hood of your vehicle and completely turn out the lights for you. So incredibly dangerous. Yeah. And yes, there are charges that would be appropriate, and each situation might find slightly different or variety of charges laid.
Okay, so I mentioned yesterday that I was out on the Gardner. It didn't have to do with this storm. It was a week or so ago. And a semi went by and had not cleared snow off the top of the vehicle and created an actual whiteout. Like, it was unbelievable. For a second, I thought some sudden snowstorm had hit, but it was actually from that truck. And then I started getting text messages from truckers who wanted to tell me about how difficult it is to get the snow off the top of the truck. And I didn't think of my best answer until later, so here it is now. It's not about you. I don't care if it's difficult for you. It's about everybody else in traffic and your obligation to cooperate.
You know, there is technology available to do it if you're interested in being safe. And trucking companies that are serious about safety install these blades that you drive under, and it just wipes all the snow off. Granted, that's expensive. Granted, it's an investment, but you avoid hurting people.
All right. Sean Shapiro, where do we find you?
Askatrafficcop.ca is the best place, and you can leave messages for me there too.
All right. Sean Shapiro, thanks a lot.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, good to have you. So how do you think we're doing in terms of clearing the snow? Let's talk about that coming up. But first, it's 10:46 and time to check news.
Okay. That was Jerry Agar, and it's always fun to chat with him on the radio with his callers. It's interesting to see where people perceive, the biggest issues. Which problems do they want to talk about? License plates are such a polarizing topic. Whether we should have front plates or whether you're allowed to cover them, everyone's got an opinion, and it's a broken record. We talk about it all the time. Now, that's funny that we talk about that because Evandro, just before the break or before the connection with Jerry, asked about what the common fines during a time of year related to snow are. Obstructed license plate, 100%. Obstructing or fail a dirty plate, $110. Windows covered with snow, driver's view obstructed. Let's have a look here, because it's not a charge that says, where you're obstructing with snow. It's not failed to clear snow, but it's a related offense. It's covered because it describes. A lot of people say, well, there's no specific charge for snow clearing. Right. Under the Highway Traffic Act. If I type in snow, I'm not going to get anything. Am I? Improperly passed snowplow, sure. Deposit snow or ice on roadway. Okay, so there was a couple charges, but they're not what I'm talking about. And then we start getting into the obscure driver view. Let's see here. Obscure. We have the entire plate not clearly visible, dirty plate, obstruct plate. Those always work. Obstruct. How about this? Under view. charge I'm looking for. Improper mirror. No clear view to front, $110. No clear view to sides. That would work. And maybe that's what I'm referencing, or maybe they've changed the improper windshield. That's different. There's lots of options. And you've always got the fallbacks. Even if you don't use those, you can say what you did was careless. Careless driving covers a lot. And people say, well, it's overused. No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of opportunity to lay careless driving. Brandon says, cops sleep better at night knowing they held citizens accountable for breaking the law and keeping the community safe. 100%. Absolutely. Brandon hit the nail on the head. Droner Wayne says, a police pulled me over and said, papers? I said, scissors. I win. And drove. He must have wanted a rematch because he's been chasing me for 45 minutes. I didn't realize we were at joke mode, but that's awesome. Okay. Lunar Field says, hi, Sean. Thank you for advocating for road safety in Ontario. You're amazing. How can I contact you? You can go to askatrafficcop.ca, and you can also email the show at askatrafficcop@gmail or voiceovercop@gmail. Both go to me. Now, where did my mouse go? There's my mouse. And Melvin Sir says, a vehicle is too tall to clear snow from the top of, like off a box truck. There's always a way. There's always a way. There are devices for clearing the top of roofs. Like there's always a way. And if there isn't a way, I know there's a way. We create one. We figure it out. Ladders are amazing. The ramps at dock level, pull up to a dock level, then use a rake of sorts, of snow rake. Lots of ways. We have Kiki has some interesting perspectives on who should be licensed. What do we got here? Old Timer No Impact says, what if one was involved in a motor vehicle accident caused by a police chase and you were hit? Who do you charge? Caused by a police chase? So police are going to take the brunt of most things in terms of liability. So like if you are being chased by police, you're obviously going to get charged. You were in a police chase, you failed to stop. There's charges for you. If a police officer hits a vehicle as a result of a pursuit that, they zigged and they should have zagged, or a member of the public didn't get out of the way or whatever, the police are probably going to wear that in every way, shape, and form. And that sucks, but it's what it is. Ollie Pushy, my trolley, says, do you ever remember certain cases in particular, like people you arrested? Absolutely. In fact, my kids are tired of hearing from me because every time I drive by an intersection that I investigated a collision or made an arrest, I go, at this intersection, I may not remember the names of the individuals, but I absolutely remember what happened there and obscure details of the event. So, I have this incredible city map in my head, all related to stuff. And it's not that I could tell you I could tell you off the top of my head all the intersections that I've arrested someone, but as I drive by, I'm triggered by memories, by the surrounding. Like I was driving on, I think it was Queen Street a couple of weeks ago, and I went to get some chicken at Dave's Hot Chicken, which I think is my favorite hot chicken place in the world so far. And we're driving down, and as I pulled past I think it was a Sally Ann, I said, I did a collision right here. And that was one my kiddo hadn't heard about yet. So it was cool. Just another one. But I'm constantly being told that I have told them already. Like it's an automatic thing. I see it, I say it. So what can I say? I see that Carla Matthews just sent me a message. I'll get to your message after the show. So unfortunately, I don't have a producer here. It's just me and myself and I. So I can't listen right now. However, next show we can possibly, if it's a question for the air, we'll share it. What do we got here? Where were you when you were an officer? This is the question from Austin. The answer is I was a member of the Toronto Police Service. I used to work in traffic services. At least when I left, I was the media relations officer for traffic services. I hosted a channel just like this under the Toronto Police moniker. And that's because the way I ended up in that situation is that I was a motor squad officer, and I was unfortunately involved in a motor vehicle collision. I was struck by a car, and that sucked. But I reinvented myself as a guy who talks on the air, and I've been having a great time. Okay. Melvin says you would need a working at heights license, also unsafe to get on top of the vehicle. Nobody's suggesting you sweep the top of your big rig. I'm saying that there are tools and ways of doing things. You could tarp your vehicle, and if you don't have access to a way of cleaning your vehicle and it's unsafe to drive your vehicle, then you should not drive your vehicle. Figure it out. There's a solution somewhere, but simply saying "not my problem" is not okay. But I appreciate you saying that you might need a license to be on top of a rig. No one's suggesting you climb on top of your rig. I'm saying that you could pull up beside a raised surface and use a long stick with a snow rake on the end of it, and that wouldn't require a permit that I'm aware of. It would just be getting the snow off your vehicle. I have a big SUV. I have a big extendable snow brush. Now, granted, it would not reach the top of a big rig, but I'm sure there are solutions available. You just need to figure it out. I believe in you. You can figure it out. Ollie wants to know, when you first joined the police force, were your expectations that similar to reality? Well, when I first joined the police service, I had a lot of friends that were police officers. I had spoken to them. I wanted to be a copper my whole life since I was a kid, like 8 years old. I knew I wanted to be one. And so I think I had a clear view. And even then it was, you want to go save the world. You want to go be like a cop in all the movies. But my favorite police show was Chips. So I wanted to ride motorcycles, make roads safer. I wanted to give people tickets for breaking the law. And I wanted to arrest bad guys. And I got to do all of that in a roundabout way, because I started as an auxiliary, as a volunteer, where I got even more reality as an unarmed, uniformed police volunteer. And then within 6 months, I became a court officer, where I was a special constable within the court system, handling court security, prisoner transportation, and housing while they were at court. And then I transferred into policing, and I traded 2 uniforms into one. And I don't think there were any secrets by the time I became a road cop, but I had a wonderful career of trying everything out. Tried a lot of different experiences. Melvin says, I believe in me also. Excellent. As long as we're all believing in everyone. What's our time like? It is now 10:56. Okay. I want to see what's going on here. Lunarfield says, I worked for a drive test center I worked for a drive test center, and I can tell you there are pass and fail rates, bias, and shady. Oh, I'd love to talk about that. Yes. I've had a number of people reach out to me about the fact that it's not what we think it is. It's not as good. There's a lot of people who shouldn't be licensed, and not at all okay. Scrolling here, I see here, yes, Evandra, obstruct plate, dirty plate, entire plate, not plate. Yes, absolutely. What do we got here? Okay. Let's play the dad jokes from Akela. Let's try that again.
Here's the first joke. Why don't the French eat more than one egg for breakfast? Because one egg's enough.
Enough. And
Next
oof.
joke. There's only one thing that scares me during Halloween. Woman says, witches? And says, exactly. Third joke. What's a ghost's favorite game? Hide and shriek. Okay, and now for a quote from Sarah Bernhardt. Life begets life, energy creates energy. It is by spending oneself that one becomes rich. Sarah Bernhardt.
Okay.
Okay, well, everybody stay safe. And remember, don't have a good day, Have a great day.
Always great advice from Michaela. I got to download these in advance and put them into the push a button go as opposed to holding it the phone in front of the microphone. But it worked. It did work. All right. It's been a slice. I see that we're up to date on questions. I'm really eager to get feedback. So if you liked the vertical, aside from I noticed it's a bit choppy, the video feed. Maybe I'm setting too high a resolution. That's possible. I think what am I setting here? Output right now. Can I even see what it is? I have to look. I might be sending 1080 and the platforms only want 720. We'll have a look. I'll tighten my shoes and get it ready for next time. We'll do better. Always doing better. And we'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Yeah, I think we'll stick to the 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Unless we should do 10 p.m. No, we'll stick to 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. tomorrow night, we'll do Ask a Traffic Cop After Dark, answering your traffic and police questions. Lunarfield says, you are the best. I'm a fan. Well, thank you very much, Lunar fan. Lunarfield fan. Lunar fan. You got me messed up here, but too many F's. Have a great day. Drive safe, drive sober, and of course, take care of each other. If we could get over the entitlement that we see on the road, if we just started being good to one another, I think we'd go places. I think we'd do a good job. We'd be past the issues of trying to get there a little faster. We'd leave a little earlier. We'd enjoy the ride. Listen to some good tunes on the way. We'd chill. If we could be chill, we'd be a lot safer. Decepticons Forever says, take care. Take care to you too, buddy. I do want to check out the wings. We gotta make wings happen. So many things that need to happen. So just to let you know, after tomorrow night's show, I would normally be off for a week or until Tuesday again. But I'm going to be traveling. So I may be doing a show from a warmer climate. We'll see how it goes. I will figure it out. I will keep you in the know. If you're not already following us, the VoiceOver Cop channels on all platforms, please do. You can get me on Twitter. I try and post meaningful stuff and things there. If you go to askatrafficcop.ca, there is a ton of stuff there, as well as access to pretty much every traffic act in North America. Yeah, if you want to go see what laws are somewhere else, check it out there. And of course, you can leave me voicemail because that's what someone did today, and I got to go listen to it right now. So have a great day. Drive safe, drive sober, and we will talk to you soon.